At some point, you have probably felt that tiny electric warning inside your mouth. Maybe you were eating something cold, maybe you bit down the wrong way, or maybe you were doing absolutely nothing, and one tooth suddenly decided to ruin the atmosphere. The moment it happens, your whole brain changes direction. You stop chewing like a normal person. You move food to the other side of your mouth. You press your tongue against the tooth, even though every reasonable part of you knows that is a bad idea. Then you sit there, pretending everything is fine, while one tiny spot in your face becomes the main character of your entire life. And if you are lucky, you book a dentist appointment. You might complain about it, because everybody complains about the dentist. The chair feels too serious, the little metal tools look suspicious, and the dentist always says something like, "You may feel a little pressure," which is the most suspicious sentence in medicine. For most of human history, that appointment did not exist. If a tooth started hurting badly enough, there was no clean room waiting for you next week. There was no X-ray, no numbing gel, no polite person in gloves calmly explaining what was happening inside your mouth. You just had the pain, your body, your community, and whatever knowledge people had managed to gather from years of trying not to suffer. So the question sounds funny at first. How did ancient humans survive without dentists? But the longer you sit with it, the less funny it gets. Because tooth pain is not a small problem when there is nowhere to take it. A bad tooth can take over a meal. It can wake you up in the middle of the night. It can make your face swell, make chewing feel dangerous, and turn every normal conversation into background noise while your mouth sends distress signals into your skull. And ancient humans had the same nerves we do. We like to imagine people from the deep past as tougher than us, like they were built from smoke, stone, and animal hide. We picture them surviving cold nights, wild animals, hunger, and wounds, so it feels tempting to believe a toothache would barely slow them down. But biology does not care about the aesthetic. A nerve inside a tooth does not become more polite just because you lived beside a river 10,000 years ago. When decay reaches deep enough, or when a tooth cracks, the body reacts in the same old language it still uses today. Pain becomes the alarm. Swelling becomes the warning. Infection becomes the danger hiding behind the warning. So ancient humans did not survive without dentists because they were immune to dental problems. They survived partly because, for a long time, the problems in their mouths were different. Before farming, many human groups ate food that was tougher, less processed, and usually much lower in the kind of sticky carbohydrates that feed cavity-causing bacteria. Their teeth were not perfect because prehistoric life was not a health influencer morning routine with a spear. Their teeth could be worn down from grit in food, crack from hard chewing, or get damaged when people use their mouths like tools. But in many hunter-gatherer populations, cavities seem to have been less common than they became later. That sounds backwards, because modern people have toothbrushes, toothpaste, floss, and entire bathroom shelves dedicated to smelling like cold mint. Ancient people did not have that version of hygiene, but they also were not constantly bathing their teeth in soft bread, sugar, and snacks that stick around like tiny criminals hiding between molars. Then farming changed the story. Once humans started relying more on grains and starchy foods, the mouth became a different environment. Softer cooked food can cling to teeth more easily. Bacteria had more fuel. Agriculture gave us bread, villages, trade, cities, and eventually the kind of civilization where people can argue online about which electric toothbrush is best. But it also seems to have made life easier for the bacteria in our mouths. That is one of the weirdest parts of human progress. We did not simply get healthier in a straight line. We gained comfort in one place and created problems in another. The same long journey that gave us warm houses and full cupboards also helped create mouths that needed more help than before. Still, ancient people were not just sitting around politely accepting tooth pain. The moment a creature has hands, tools, and a toothache, somebody is going to try something. Archaeologists have found very old signs that humans were working on teeth long before modern dentistry. Some teeth show marks that look like scraping or drilling. One famous tooth from Slovenia, around 6,500 years old, had beeswax packed into a damaged area. Even older teeth from Italy show signs that decayed material may have been cleaned out and filled with bitumen, a dark, sticky substance that sounds less like a dental material and more like something you would use to patch a road. But that is exactly what makes it feel human. Somewhere in the past, a person was in pain and another person tried to help. Maybe they did not understand bacteria. Maybe they did not know exactly what was happening under the enamel, but they understood suffering. and they understood that doing nothing could be worse. That is probably where medicine truly begins. Not in a perfect cure, but in the refusal to just watch pain happen. In small communities, a tooth problem was not only personal. If you could not chew properly, sleep well, or stay focused, your whole place in daily life could change. You might struggle to gather food, help others, or simply keep up with the rhythm of the group. Pain was private, but survival was not. So people experimented. They used plants, pressure, scraping, pulling, and whatever their culture believed might help. Some of it probably worked a little. Some of it probably did nothing. Some of it almost certainly made the situation worse, because human history is basically the story of people learning by accidentally choosing the worst possible option first. But knowledge grew from those attempts. Every remedy that failed still taught somebody something. Every extraction that worked became a story worth remembering. Every person who knew how to ease pain, remove a tooth, or recognize dangerous swelling became valuable without needing a diploma. And when a tooth became too damaged, the answer was often brutally simple. It had to come out. That sounds straightforward until you imagine what extraction meant before modern anesthesia, sterile instruments, and a dentist who can stop halfway through and ask whether you were doing okay. Pulling a tooth meant force, timing, pain, and trust all happening in one terrifying moment. Even today, with modern tools and numbing, plenty of people fear the dentist. Now remove most of the reassurance. Imagine sitting near a fire with your jaw throbbing, knowing the pain has become bigger than your fear. Someone nearby prepares a tool shaped by experience rather than science. You do not know whether the tooth will come out cleanly. You do not know whether the swelling will fade. You only know that leaving it alone might be worse. That is not because ancient people were fearless. It is because pain can make the choice smaller. But there is another honest answer to the question, and it is less comforting. Ancient humans survived without dentists unevenly. Some people recovered. Some lived for years with broken, worn, or missing teeth. Some adapted by changing how they ate. Some were helped by their group. And some people did not survive because a bad tooth could become an infection. An infection without antibiotics could turn dangerous fast. A tooth is small, but it is connected to the rest of the body. That is the part we forget when modern life makes dental problems feel separate, like they belong in a special office with a reminder card. In the ancient world, a mouth infection could weaken a person, spread, or make eating so painful that the body slowly lost strength. So when we ask how ancient humans survived without dentists, we are really asking how humans survived in a world where small problems had more power. And the answer is that they survived through diet, luck, endurance, and community knowledge. They survived because many dental problems were different before agriculture. They survived because people experimented with early treatments long before they had the words to explain them. And sometimes they survived because someone was brave enough to pull the tooth. But maybe the deeper answer is that humans have never been very good at simply accepting pain. We poke at it. We complain about it. We ask someone older what they think. We try the strange remedy. We pack something into the broken place and hope tomorrow hurts less. That impulse is ancient. The modern dentist's office is just the polished version of something much older. It is still one human looking at another human in pain and saying, in some form, let me try to fix this. So the next time you are sitting in that chair, staring at the ceiling while a bright light makes your mouth feel like a construction site, it might be worth remembering that this is not just some annoying modern appointment. It is the result of thousands of years of humans refusing to let tooth pain have the final word. Behind the clean tools and buzzing drill, there is a long line of people holding their jaws in the dark, waiting for help, hoping the pain would pass, and slowly building the knowledge that one day became dentistry. And that makes the original question feel different. Ancient humans survived without dentists because they had to, because they helped each other, and because every painful experiment moved us a little closer to a world where a toothache is no longer a mystery in the dark, but a problem someone can actually understand.